Okay, I'm back to a very brief, short intermission. Woo, my armpits are getting wet. Whew. I don't really sweat that much either unless I absolutely, this is very, very hot, you know. Usually I'm cold and most people are hot. Okay, so, Nadia Monet back with Lips of Flame. Keep a flapping, I will! So, now we're gonna go about, okay, so it's Friday. And, okay, so I decided, you know, to take an Uber. I decided to try that, you know, because I want to see what adventure I could have with it. You know, to go, so Saturday morning, the day after, my fucking car is towed to Cass Street. I have no idea where that is, never heard of it, even though I've lived here a while. I was thinking it was a really south side part of town to make me drive out, you know, because there's one up here, St. Joe Road. And I know Parker Towing is a part of my stalking because many years ago, and they stopped, I think because they saw me writing about Corte. Corte always fault the van every time I went. Even in empty parking lots, they would park there, along with Xfinity and Fios. When I would be in an empty parking lot, like at a church, I'd be talking about paying my bills. And there's a NIPSCO van. When I was talking about paying my NIPSCO bill, and I had like a little noise machine. When I turned around, an empty parking lot, there was a NIPSCO van that was talking, and then there was a Fios van to show me that, hey, we know you're paying a bill. And it was empty. It was just me and them. And they would just follow me. The Corte van. Yeah, Corte. And I remember Parker, they used to follow me too. And then when I started posting about how Corte did it, they backed off Parker Towing. But yeah, Parker Towing has always been involved in my stalking. Blue Eagle too. That guy with the beard. I think he wears a hat and he has blue eyes. He's kind of fat. And he has kind of like a reddish beard. He's also dirty too. He's involved in my stalking. Okay, so anyway. Yeah, so I decided to call. I'm kind of bored. I just want to see. And I would thank God I did. I just want to see, you know, what was going on with the car. And I want to see what would happen. Because I didn't plan on picking it up. So I called and I asked. And then she said it would be $205. I was like, what? I thought it'd be like 30 or 7. And she said, she figured it out. She said, if the city police tows it, it's something about the distance. Maybe that's why that wacko fat ugly bitch that eats way too many tacos. She went, and non bread. Maybe that's why she had it towed all the way to Cass Street. It's far away from where I live. Maybe because it costs more money. Because I live off of St. Joe Center Road, and there's a Parker Towing right like 2 minutes away from me. So it's like about $85, you know, and it adds up to $205. And then she said, I said, well, what happens if I don't pick it up? And then she said, it's because I thought it sits there for free. I had no idea there'd be a charge. And she said it'll be, I thought, as stupid as it sounds, I thought the cop would have to pay for the tow because I wasn't doing anything wrong. And she said you'll be charged $35 for every calendar. I was like, are you fucking serious? I was like, damn, I didn't know that. I was thinking, good thing I called because I didn't plan on calling. I just happened to be bored and I want to see what would happen. I want to know what would happen if I left the car there because my original plan was, I'm not going to go pick it up. And then she said, I'll see what I can work out for you. She said, if you come before noon. And I thought that was because my car was towed at 11 a.m. So I thought it was a 24-hour thing. She said, if you come before noon today, then it'll be $205. And I had no idea till I got to the police station. The lady told me they close at noon. I was like, oh, so it wasn't about a deal of 24 hours a week. I had no idea they closed at noon. And anyway, so I decided to try Uber. And it's really weird. I tried to do multiple stops because I had to go from my house to Chase to go to the ATM, take out $200, just to be on the safe side, $240, just in case it was past 12, because I thought they were open until 5 or something. And then from there, I would have to stop my second place to the Fort Wayne Police Department because I have to pick up the release papers. And then from there, then I would have to go to Cass Road, where the impounding grounds. And so I tried to add the stops and it wouldn't go in the Uber app. How do you do that? I mean, I did add, and then I don't know, it was saying, I don't know, it wasn't showing anything. And so I just thought, okay, I'll let him drop me off at Chase Bank or whatever, and then I'll just call another one. And when he came, he was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know how to do it. You know, the apps are different. The apps you guys use are different from the apps, you know, us drivers use. He said, I don't know how to. He goes, well, I told him, well, I have another stop to go to. I go, well, I have a stop to go to. I go, well, actually, I have another stop to go to after Chase Bank, the Chase Bank. And he said, well, you could have. He said, well, I could have done that for you. He said, well, I could have drove you everywhere. He said, if you would have added in all. I know. I told him I tried that, but, you know, there's something wrong. It's not going through. He said, here, I'll check and then he said he'll check it. And I said, okay, yeah, just check it when we get to Chase. And if it's not added in, then yeah, you can just drop me off. And then he checked. He said, it's not showing up. He said, yeah, sorry. I was like, yeah, that's okay. Who cares? So I went inside and then I withdrew, the $240, and then all these stalkers start coming in because I have my phone, and they're all standing around me, staring at me. And then right when I happen to move, like they're saying get naughty, arrested, and the staff is in on it too. And Home Depot and Walmart are saying try really hard to get this bitch arrested, start a fight with her, get physical with her, hit her, do something. And so right when I turned around, I started to walk, this guy stepped in front of me and he got bumped into me. He's, oh, watch it. And of course, I didn't care. I ignored it. I don't know. That's really bad to say. I don't care. Because I know I'm going to come here and tell you. Anyway, when it said, Uber then said authenticate the app. And I was sitting there, I don't know, a half hour, maybe close to an hour. And, you know, it does it off and on. It says, oh, we asked you to authenticate your credit card every once in a while. And I tried, and it kept saying verification failed. And I thought, okay, they're probably jamming. Maybe they were. Because at home it worked fine. So I was trying to change my new one from Chase Bank to the Fort Wayne Police Department. And they were spying on my cell phone. And the girl's asking, oh, are you okay? What do you, one of the employees? I said, yeah. And then I said, I'm just trying to use my phone. You know, the cell isn't working. And she's like, oh, it's shoddy here to sell you. You might want to try our Wi-Fi. I told her no, because I know it's unsecured. And, what she really meant was, oh, you're attracting all the stalkers here. Yeah, but you guys are the business. You guys have the ultimate power and control, the last word on it. You guys can tell them to get out. You don't want. You obviously told them, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you can come in. You know, that's why they came in. The stalkers at Home Depot, well, they're not in control. The businesses, they're getting permission. Now, if the business told them, hey, get out of here, fuck off, they would have never shut up. Anyway, they start coming, screaming, and then some lady throws something at the door and she's leaving. She was like, oh my, like trying to get violent with me. I was far away from the door, but she's trying to scare me. She goes, oh my God, that's it. And then she threw something against one of the entrance doors, you know, trying to scare me. Because I was sitting in front of it, but far away. And anyway, just more and more stalkers were coming in one by one. And spying on my phone and stuff. No, they're not hacked on my phone, but like they're acting like they knew I was done with something or something. And then they would come in and they start screaming, oh, like try again when they can't, that's what they do. Any way to make noise, you know, which is awesome. Like, still here, you know. Still here, still alive, still getting what I want, and still bothering you. And you. Anyway, anyway, so he's like, oh, I just want to know if I could have a gift card. You know, and they're just talking really loud, and I don't know, I didn't listen to the rest because I was on my phone. I kept trying to verify over and over again. And then I went outside, and it was really freezing that day. Very cold, windy. But I went outside in the middle of the parking lot. And it still didn't work. And so I quickly went on the unsecured Wi-Fi just for a few seconds. And it still didn't work, the verification, so I shut it off. And then I went up to a teller and I asked her, you know, I have to change my password. And she said, well, we don't do that. And I said, no. I said I had a fraud alert put on there. And they said I had to go into the branch anyway to have it like reopened again. So can we reactivate it so, you know, I can go inside the app in my bank account so it can be verified through Uber. She was like, yeah, I'll tell the other girl, just hold on and go ahead and have a seat. So I did. And and then I told her my cell wasn't working to verify, you know, the Uber purchase for the second road trip. And then you know what she said this differently. The first one said try our Wi-Fi, the cellular connection is shoddy out here. And then this second one, the teller at the window, she goes, oh, I never use our Wi-Fi. It is so weak. She said, I would use cellular. And she's saying that on purpose to try and get a reaction. I just played along. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh. And I sat down. Again, all these guys, they were just standing there and staring at me. And then when I happened to go outside again to try for a better cell signal, some old lady, again, they're all following me in there. Some old lady was walking behind me, stalking me inside the bank when I was walking back in. She goes, oh, you shouldn't be doing anything on this type of day. You know, and I kept, you know, giving me an order. Oh, you shouldn't be doing anything on a day like this, on this type of, or on a day like this. And I kept walking. Then I went inside, and then so I waited, and then I had to go to a bathroom. And the girl at Chase said there's no bathroom. So I went back and I sat down. I tried more. And then they start screaming. More stalkers come in. They start screaming again, talking about Trump, racism, this, you know. Then they start talking about me like their third part, you know, right there. Start talking about me to each other, saying, you know, what is she doing here? Why is she here? You know, she should leave. She doesn't deserve to be served. And they get quiet and all stare at me. I would look at them and smile and then look away and then keep doing what I was doing on my Uber app. And then I tried Lyft to see if it would work. And it did, but then I was afraid, okay, well, what if it won't verify when I get to the police station? And then how am I going to, I mean, those are the only two apps I know, unless there are more taxi apps. And it showed a lot more. I don't know if they're used here, though. Because only America talks about Uber and Lyft, but I don't know if there are more taxi apps. It showed like dozens more, probably hundreds. And I was like, I didn't want to, okay, there was a car that was coming to Target. So anyway, when I was in Chase, they were yeah, they're all just yelling in front of the teller, saying, yeah, why is she here, this, that. And then I heard one guy go, like that, talking about blowing me away. Yeah, I know. And he probably had a gun with him. And that's the thing. They're inviting stalkers in. See, you hear about these shootings at grocery stores and the post office and anywhere else. This is how these shootings happen. This is what I want you to know. It's the businesses behind it. They're letting all these crazy people come in who are mad at me based on the lies that are being told by the employees. The employees are saying bad things about me, and not that it gives them a good reason, but then they hate me. They get mad. These customers, stalkers that come in based on lies they're being told by employees and management. And they could bring in knives and guns, even a grenade, you know. They do it at other places, geez. And none of them even are stalking victims like me, you know, so my situation's worse. And I've had them do that, like at Parkview and at Discount Tire, where they showed me a pocket knife. Or like some guy opened up his coat, like his blazer at Discount Tire. That's a different story I'll tell you later. Got me a million. And he showed me like a blade that was holstered to his chest. I was like, oh my God. And they're sandwiching me, trying to crowd me. And so anyway, so then I got up and then I asked And then I asked, what are the tellers, do they have a bathroom? She said not a public one. I don't know if it's true. I didn't see one, but anyway. So I decided to walk out in the cold. I was like, well, it's not that far. And it was so freezing cold, and I have eczema. And I was like, well, I'm strong when I have to be, when I want to be, when I have to be. And the cold, oh my God. See, and my scarf was in my trunk, or not in my trunk, my scarf was in my car. And the freezing cold, strong wind, it was blowing against my face while I was walking the whole time. I was wearing heels too and all that ice. And surprisingly, I thought I'd get a massive headache when I got in, but I felt fine inside Target. Even when I got home, I thought maybe I'd get a headache, but I felt fine, which is weird. And maybe it's a mental thing. I was like, well, it's not as far as a walk that I thought it was. I thought it was gonna be long. And Target was told I was coming because they were all prepared. They were all outside trying to hit me with carts. Yeah, they're all waiting for me. And then right when I pass, they'll cut me off or they'll act like they're gonna hit me and stop. I'm like, hey, you hit me, I will scream so loud. You better not hit me because I'm gonna scream. And I've done it before. And I would do that at Walmart when they're like, ah, and it bugs, it shocks them. I'm like, well, what? What are you so afraid? You're afraid someone out of your your orbit is gonna hear? Cause I thought everyone was in on it. So why do they get bothered when I scream? I mean, the whole world is in on it, right? So, why would you? Why it really bothers them when I do that? So anyway, yes, anyway, some cart girl is outside waiting for me outside, and she goes into the employee entrance, and you know, it's way in the front part of Target. And she acts like she's going to hit me with the car. And they're tracking me through my phone. It's like they're having a fun orgasmic day. And of course, I don't care. I'm doing it for me, for the Uber and stuff. And anyway, there was like a lift that was coming. It said drivers coming to Target. And I started thinking, you know what? I was like, maybe I should call my mom. I didn't want to, but I was like, the only reason why, I was still thinking about going to Target, but I was like, well, what if the same thing happens and I'm left without a ride and there's no other taxi app and I have to call my mom anyway at the police station? What if it says we have to verify the Lyft app now? What if it says verification fails, like Uber did at Chase? So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I was like, I don't know if there are any taxi apps. So I was like, so I'll just call my mom and see what she says. You know, I didn't want to, but I knew she'd probably be asleep or, you know, in bed or something. She wasn't, but she was at home. Thank God she wasn't working. And I was willing to wait. Anyway, when I went into Target again, they're all crowded in front of the entrance staring at me. And then they're like, oh, yeah, she got a haircut. And she lightened her hair, yeah. And she looks so funny. And then right when I started past, there's a customer, aka actor, you know, stalker. And then this big fat old woman, I think she has blondish hair or gray hair. She's fat and old, probably in her 60s, and a white female. The employee, like the cart collector. And right when I started walking past them, that cart collector employee, this is Northwood. This is Northwood Plaza, you know, off of Stellhorn. Both Chase and Target. And she acted like she was going to hit me, like right when I started, like right when that lady was done talking. The employee, she acted like she was going to hit me. I kept walking. I was like, I let them hit me if they're going to, because then I'm like, I don't like living like that, waiting. They want me to get a picture. They want me to stop, go, I don't do that. And then, you know, I'm like, I'm not scared. I'm like, I don't like to live like that. If you're going to hit me, because I have a plan. I'm just going to scream, so. And anyway, then she stopped the cart. And, you know, she acted like, yeah, when their fake conversation was over. And then I had to go to the bathroom. And then again, just like I thought, a line of stalkers all come in and fill up all the stalls. And some girl stands there next to me and just shakes her head and snarls and stares at me, you know, when I'm standing at the sink getting water. And then I go in the last big stall. And then they're all coming in there. And then pretty soon it's empty. And then one comes in, and I'm at the furthest stall, the biggest one. And just like at Walmart and everywhere else, they always come into the stall closest to me. And then when I move, they move. And then when I move, that's what they would do when I was on my break. When I'd be in the bathroom stall, I'd be on my phone. When I was done using the toilet, then all of a sudden they'd have someone like rolling toilet paper, moving every time I moved, and then they'd have someone rolling the toilet, and they weren't even using the bathroom. Anyway, that's the thing. I don't see how that's bothering them. I'm like, you're doing all the hard work. I'm like, I'm just relying. That's the thing. I'm like, it looks like they're bothering themselves, which is a good thing. But I'm like, I don't see how that doesn't bother me. It's only flattering. They're coming, and it was a cold day too. See how famous I am? I'm so famous. They're coming out in like 0-degree weather with wind at Chase everywhere. I love it. I'm like, huh? And this is supposed to make me stop, move away, or commit. I'm like, that's the kind of power you want. I mean, when people are coming, I'm sure they don't do that with everyone. I'm sure there are people they wouldn't even come out there for. They'd stay in bed, but for me, they come out. But anyway, they all come in the bathroom, and then it gets quiet, and then someone keeps pounding the wall. Like, they know, I don't know, a thermal camera or something, or they have cameras in the bathroom, but my whole body is standing up against the stall, and I'm talking to my mom, asking if she can come get me, and then I'm looking at apps, and someone keeps pounding the wall in the bathroom when I'm standing up against it with my head there, and it kind of hurted. I shouldn't have ignored. I should have screamed. And they kept pounding the wall. Again, violence. It's dangerous, unhealthy environment, threats, and it was hurting my skull. And anyway, I just kept standing there because there's nowhere else to stand. And then my mom said, I'll come and get you. So I was like, okay. And there are no chairs in the front, so I went to go at Starbucks, and they all start surrounding me, and I forgot, oh my God, I have my Facebook app on here. For some reason, I thought I was on a different device that had no Facebook. And the minute I started blogging, they all shutted the fuck up like the pussies they were. And then they're all getting quiet, and I was like, I blogged that. I was like, you should see them now. They think I'm the best thing since sliced bread, and you know what? I'm not. I'm the best thing since Jesus. Even before Jesus. Anyway, I'm the best thing since before BC. Anyway, they're all surrounding me, I was like, you guys fucking hit my dad. Yeah, I don't know, they think I can't call for help. So that's what they do. They'll start banging my table that I'm at, hitting the back, like at the library, kicking. Before they did that, I was planning on calling the police if they did that this time. But anyway, I started blogging, and then they backed up. I didn't expect that. I go, yeah. I'm sitting at Starbucks, in front of the Target, and then I don't know. They all got quiet, like they were afraid. I said, "Can you guys call corporate?" I go, because they're having death threats here and stuff. They're hitting, they're trying to hit me. So, and then some guy, when I happened to look up, he purposely wheeled his empty car right in front of me. And I blogged that. I was like, yeah. I was like, ooh, that's scary. He's trying to show that, hey, I know that you looked up, so I'm going to put this car here. That's what they would do at Walmart. They would, when I was sitting at the bench, they would place all these empty carts right in front of me, like right in front of my chin. And I would still sit there. They're trying to trap me like a maze. There's a little room for me to walk through, but it didn't bother me because I still had room. And I'm like, again, how is this supposed to make me want to come? I was like, that's flattery. Them putting the carts there. I love that. Anyway, it shows me they're not forgetting me. Anyway, so then they're all screaming behind me and saying again, why is she here? God, they're like, someone needs an ass whooping. She needs an ass whooping. And they all got quiet and looked at me. And it was a Starbucks in front of the employees, and the employees were laughing. They're like, why is she here again? And I haven't been in Target, I think, in like 4 or 5 years. And they were stalking me when I was even in the back of the store, like a big circle. They had the same girl stalking, and they looked like they were turned on, having orgasms. And I was like, I don't believe that. They have to be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed. like, if I were doing that to someone, my first thought would be, I don't want them to think that I'm putting them on a pedestal. I feel like I'm showing them they're so important. And, I don't know, I would feel, I think they're pretending to act like, oh, they're so powerful and, oh, they're controlling I don't know. I've heard that. That's why stalkers do that, because it's a form of control. I'm like, I don't think so. I'm like, I see it as me in control, because I'm deciding when and where I go and stuff. And even these crazy neighbors here, I didn't even know the fat guy, Dominic, he's always dressed in black with black flip-flops. I had no idea that was him until my mom said that. I didn't even see him. She was like, oh, there's that fat guy, that crazy neighbor. I was like, what? And like, whenever we drive out, he'll start walking on the sidewalk to show that, hey, I know when you guys are leaving. Or he'll drive out past when I'm back in my car. I'm like, that's not something I would be proud of. I'm like, I don't believe it's a control thing and he feels macho. I can feel his embarrassment. But they're trying to act like, hey, we know when you're leaving. So they'll walk out on the sidewalk near my driveway when me and my mom are driving off on driveway when I'm backing my car out. And my mom was like, yeah, that's him. I see him plenty of times outside. I was like, I never see him. Or yeah, when we're driving back, they'll be out there walking on the sidewalk, like right near my, I'm like, well, that's not going to stop. Still, nothing's going to change. It's not going to change anything. I mean, it doesn't bother me. And they know that. I'm like, even if they all disappeared, I'm still going to act the same, and they know that. So it's not about that. It's about so much more. And that has nothing to do with current Anyway, it's about emotional scarring, trauma. Anyway, but this is how I deal with it. And you guys should too. That's why I'm here to help you go through this. And it's really easy. I mean, I feel it. Anyway, I don't want to get into that part yet. Anyway, so then I keep they're like, oh, she should leave. Why is she here? This and that. Someone should spank her. Oh, she needs a good ass whooping. And yeah, there's like threats. And then I was quiet. I kept blogging them. My mom came, and then right when I got up, I started walking. The lady who's screaming about ass whooping at Starbucks and Target, she started almost walking on top of me, crowding me. And she's pretending to act like she was scared. And I was walking at a normal pace. I was like, if you hit me, run into me, I will fucking scream. And I will embarrass you, and you're going to wish you never did that. But then she started walking close to me, and then she quickly started walking right in front of me. Then she picked up the pace. And then she's pretending to overact, and she kept looking back at me when she went out the exit doors, and then when she went outside. And of course, I didn't even look at her. But she's pretending to act like, oh my God, I did something bad. Well, then why would you do something bad if you're going to pretend to act like you're scared? I do believe she's scared, though. Anyway, I haven't seen my mom's car in a while. I didn't really recognize the car. And I couldn't even see her face because there's a big glare on it. And so, yeah, it was her. And so she picked me up. And then we went to the police station, and there was another riot there at the Fort Wayne Police Department. They stalked us, and they had permission from the police department. And then they didn't dare follow us in there because the police department didn't want to get blamed like they were before. But we're going to blame them anyway because they were a part of it. That doesn't exonerate you just because they stayed out in the parking lot and made a deal with you. That's why they're there, because they had permission from the police department. And in the garage, when my mom drove at 1 East Main Street inside that parking garage, they were like blocking my mom, and then they were kind of honking and stuff. And then they were coming physically, their bodies and their cars in front of hers. And then so my mom was scared, and I told her that's why she wanted to come in with me, because I didn't want her to come out in the cold, because she's so old and cute and fat. I told her, look, you're not going to be outside anyway. You're just going to be driving me. You can sit in the car. And I didn't want her to come out in the cold, because, I don't want to cause any physical pain to my Grammy. She's old, so. But I told her to drop me off. She's like, no, I'll come in with you, because she was scared. for me. I was like, okay. And then for some reason, you know that tunnel that goes from the garage to the Fort Wayne police station? I thought that was like an encapsulated, completely covered, a bridge. You know, like a walkway. You know, like at IPFW, there's that tunnel that's all covered. I thought it was like that, but it was completely open, windy. And I was like, oh, Mom. I was like, you shouldn't have come. I was like, go back in the car. And, because there's still time. It was right when the parking lot ended and that tunnel started. I didn't want her walking in the cold because I was like, it's going to get colder. And it did. I was like, I don't want her to get cold. I was like, Mom, go back in your car. But she didn't. Anyway, we went there and the lady there was like, hi. She's told to be mean to me. Either she's acting on Home Depot and Walmart's behalf, or they're seriously mad because of the tons of fabulous, wonderful, delish publicity that whole department's getting over the past few years because of me. So either she's seriously mad or pretending she's mad. And then every time I talk to my mom, another psycho behind the dispatcher or at the police department, you know, Suite 108. She's like, like, oh, I know I shouldn't be doing it, but let's just see what happens if we do it once or twice, you know. I'm like, no, if you're really scared, you wouldn't have done that. Now I'm going to tell everybody. They're hoping that, oh, she won't remember, or, oh, you know, she'll give us a break, and no. And then, like, they're acting like, oh, we know we're not supposed to do it, but we will anyway. We'll see what she, like, poke, you know, interrupt her. Well, here I am. Yeah, I'm telling all your secrets. Anyway, she's like, every time. So do that to them, you guys. When you go to a Fort Wayne Police Department or anywhere else, you know, like a reception area, sauna, or doctor's office, anywhere. You know, every time they ask you something, have someone with you and interrupt. Say, when are we gonna have sex today? And then every time they ask you, like, updating, are you at this phone? Or say, when are we having sex again? Interrupt. Because that's what they do to me. So I don't mind it, but let's see what they'll start crying. Just see what they do and call me and let me know or text me what they do. Or say, you know, about the phone number. Oh, no, it's not. When they say, is this your phone number and your address? Say, no, it's this. And then when they get to the 9th number say, oh, no, it's this number. No, it's that number. No, it's this number. No, it's that. Same with the address. Say, oh, no, that's not it's this. Make them type out the new fake address. And I go, no. It's the old address. It's another one. Stuff like that. And, because that's what they do to me. But the only difference is I want to handle it. They don't want to. They can't. They're lazy and weak. I'm brave and strong. That's the difference. They seem to have thought this was going to end. I'd rather have things going. I can live with it. They can, but don't want to. So, well, you don't get a choice because old Nadia makes the final decision. I make the decision if your hell or heaven stops or not. So, I'm not going to tell you. You're just going to have to wait. Could be 7 hours, 7 days, 7 years. Could be never. You're just going to have to wait until I'm done having fun, which maybe never. Or it could be in the next hour. So anyway, we got our stuff, and then I went ahead and filled out some paperwork. We left, and then we got in the parking lot. Me and my mom were talking. She wanted me to explain to her what happened. I was. And then there's all the screaming, honking in the parking lot. Stalkers coming around behind us in the garage. The police department, Suite 108, they're so smart not. It's like they think, oh, if it doesn't happen inside and it happens in the parking lot, let's see. Was she lying, say there were stalkers inside the police department? No, because I was only there a few minutes there, and there wasn't. I'm telling the truth. But out in the parking lot, like, oh, it's okay in the parking. You know you think I'm so dumb. I don't know what's going on. Oh, just because it's not going on inside the suite where you are. If it's going outside you still have no idea. Just because I'm like, you think just because you're not in the same room with me inside, or the same parking lot with me outside, you think that I really think you have no idea what's going on when you orchestrated and planned and gave them permission for the whole thing. Just because you're not in the same room doesn't mean you don't know what's going on. Okay, maybe at some places. Okay, I don't believe it. I think at most places, if they're not in the room with you, of course, they don't know what's going on. But this one, obviously, police department. They obviously know. I just know they had permission, you know, with my history with them. But, okay, so yeah. Then, you know, we left. And, okay, so now we have to go. Whoa, I gotta remember where Cass is. You know, I did look in the app, or not the app. I did look on the map, and no, I don't think it's as far as I thought it was. It is far though, not as far as I thought. I thought it'd be way like on Pontiac, like on the south. Maybe it is. I don't know. I have to look at it again. But my Grammy said that she would come at 11. So we're going to be going at 11. I keep thinking they're closing at 12. I think they're open until 6 or 6:30. I don't know. So yeah, it's going to be $340 because that pig. I'm like, you can't do that every time. You know what? Right when I drive it home, I'm going to park it and finish what I start. It's going to be there for 4, 5, 6. That's why he planned on calling the cop, because he knew if a tow truck, first of all, that's illegal. He has to wait 24 hours. And first of all, that's not his property. He had to call B&D Commercial. That's their property. Second of all, he has to wait. Even if I'm blocking his way, which I wasn't, he could get out. And even after my car was towed, that car didn't even leave. Obviously, the cop was showing me, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here because Home Depot and Walmart won, or some of the managers are mad, and I'm trying to show a fake power play. And the car didn't need to go out anywhere. I was here to tow your car the whole time. That's what she was there for. And, ugly Gemini, chota kad, ugly, short, ugly shrimp. Yeah, he was like standing in the garage. I think they were telling him, try and be brave. Hi, chupra. He was walking by and hiding when I had the camera out. Ugly, short, manuskota. Ugly dog shrimp. He's like 4'10". He's walking backwards in the ground. Get outside closer. He was hiding. He would not come outside. That's why he had the cop out there, because if he were successful in towing my car, which wouldn't have happened, he can't stop me physically. That's why he needed that cop there. They needed each other. She needed to use him as a decoy, to act like, you know, to hold me there and to try and get me arrested. And he needed her there to physically stop me from getting to the car. And she needed him there because he had a call as an excuse. And she's not allowed to call that place. She's not supposed to be calling B&D, man. And you know what? B&D Commercial, they don't even send out tow trucks or sticker fines. The owner, he's not even the owner of the driveway. So there's nothing you can do. I'm like, I still have all the power here, and they know it. I'm like, you have to come and ask me to move my car. That's all. Even the police said that. That's all we can do is ask. If you don't, you're stuck. Well, this gives you a lesson. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with other neighbors. Don't park there and block us. And see, because I'm obedient, I never fought back. Every time I make a video, yeah, that's what I notice. Every time I go out, they'll block my driveway. I've been ignoring it. And then they'll start screaming. It sounds like they're hammering something outside. They'll start banging outside. They'll start screaming. Ah! And, or they'll tell their dogs to bark. I don't know. They'll beat them into barking. They abuse their dogs, starve them and stuff. And, because the lawn trolls weren't here. I guess they didn't have a hammer readily available, or their vocal cords didn't work for screaming. All they had was a cop to come out here. But it was right before I make these videos. It bothers them. I don't know why. But right before I hit record, that's when she started pounding. That's why I noticed every time before I hit record, they'll start screaming like, "Oh my God, no, we don't want you to make the video." Why? It's like something really bad happens with the video. I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah, but for the cop to come out here, maybe the whole thing was a distraction. Now that I think of it, maybe she didn't plan on towing the car, but no, yeah, she did. But I think, yeah, definitely, because that got her away. That made things take longer, and that got me away from creating my videos. But I don't understand. I'm like, well, but they know I'm always gonna make one. They know I'm gonna find time later. There's always time to make videos. So yeah, that crazy bitch comes and pounding, saying we're gonna tow your car. I was like, no, you're not. But just in case, I put my shoes and my pants and my stuff on, and I was waiting, and then that ugly Manuska, he kind of came out, and then he walked back, that neighbor that called at 5422 Thornbriar Lane. Yeah, I think he's trying to start a fight. He was told to walk outside. I was like, I was like, this idiot has no idea. I'm not going outside. I'm standing here. I'm going to wait for the tow truck, and then I'm going to get my car. Because I've been told, I've even heard on TV, even that show, what is it? Parking Wars. Even though those people who tow people's cars away, they say we can't do anything if they come back. Even the towers don't tow their cars. They say if they come back before we clip their car, they said that we can't do anything. And this one, that's why I posted it. I want to know why she was blocking me and saying, I won't let you. And she's like doing that. And then, I won't let you. And then I remember when the tow truck came, I started walking towards the car to get it. And her true face came out. She started walking side and blocking me. She was like, and she was like, no, I'm not letting. I said, what happens if she goes, I'll arrest you. And then, no, I won't let you. I was about to walk and pass her and say no, but I was like, I don't want to risk it. I was like, what if she makes up a lie and arrests me for something else? And then later it'll show, but at the time, maybe she can lie and get away. I was like, she's obviously desperate to put me behind bars. And she was the one who's screaming and causing a scene in her Jeep. And when I came outside, she's like, oh, you're causing a disturbance. I'm going to arrest you. And I'm like, you're the one who's causing it. I didn't say anything. I just walked back into my house. I was like, that's when I knew. I was like, I was like, something bad happened to one or some of them at Home Depot, Walmart. This is exactly what they want. Maybe that was her plan, not to tow my car. Maybe they told her, your chances are very low. She probably won't do anything, but they're so desperate. Let's just give it a try. Try to make her so mad that she'll hit you, do something where you can arrest her on something, and then haul her ass to jail. All because she won't commit suicide or move away. She bugs us. We couldn't bed the managers at Home Depot. They all had crushes on her. They were all jealous because they had crushes on the managers who sexually harassed me. I'm like, hey, you can have them. You don't need my permission. I'm like, I don't even want any of them. None of them are good looking or nice. So they're all little shrimps who are bald and fat, have pork rind bellies. But anyway, that's what happened. And she's like, no, I'm not gonna let you get your. I was like, no. I was like, I've been told that if the owner comes outside before the tower can get the car, we can. She's like, no, I won't. And she's blocking. And it's like, no. I was like, she's gonna get physical and cuff me. I was like, I said, take the car. I was like, I can always get it back. I was like, I was like, I've got so much more work I can do so much more damage out here being free. I was like, I'm not gonna let her take my freedom away. I don't even think I would have, even if she did take me to jail, I don't think it wouldn't have been a felony or a record. But I was like, I still don't want to chance it. Even though I know, even if it wouldn't come up in a background check, it's not a felony. I still don't want to go through that. So it's cold and stuff. And yeah, and then I told her before she had it towed, I was standing in the door. I didn't come outside. She said, you're not gonna, she told her I had to, she looked like she was on drugs. Someone drug tested her. She looked like she was high on, seriously. She was like, no one acts like that. She goes, I'm gonna have to tow your car. She's like, oh, but it's cold. And she had her hands in. She was like, you're not gonna move your car for me? You're not gonna move your car? But it's cold. I'm gonna have to tow your car. I go, no, you can't do this. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to. And she kept going back and forth saying, oh, I called a tow truck. And I said, you can't do it in the beginning. And then she said, oh, I called the office. You can't. It's not in her jurisdiction. It's not her business. She's not supposed to be calling. This cop has nothing to do with the business office. Everything she did has no business of hers as a cop. That ugly shrimp He's supposed to tag my car and wait 24 hours. I don't know. I don't even think it's him. No, he's supposed to. That's what they call the office. That office owns the driveway, private property. They have to do it. They have to tag my car, which they're not going to do. And they've told me that they're not going to do it. Because they tell us to call the police. So she had no right doing that. And no one's ever called a towing truck for me. Because it's illegal. It's not allowed. And I'm so glad I got her 2 things. Her face and the video of them towing the truck away on private property. So please help. Let's get her fired. I want her to pay. I don't know how long it'll take. I'm going to try everything, do everything, file every complaint I can. I've still got so much work to do to try and get the money back. But I don't see why, for example, hypothetically speaking, if they do get to keep the money, they don't have to pay you back, then I'm going to then I don't understand why she's not allowed by law to do that, yet I have to fork over money and they don't have to pay me back. No one said that yet, but if that, and I'm just hypothetically speaking, it could go both ways. I don't know. But I'm saying, like, if I break the law and I'm not supposed to do something, like I steal someone's money, force them to pay for it, when I'm not supposed to do it, why would I not be forced to pay it back? That's what I don't get. You know, but I'm going to do everything in my power, and there are a lot of places you can contact. And I still have to do that. But yeah, definitely. And remember, there's a new, thank God I looked. So there's a new officer. By chance, Steve Reed's last day was January 12th, Friday. So the new one, his name is Scott Caudill. He starts Tuesday tomorrow. I emailed both of them in the video, so the link, so. Oh yeah, the lady on the phone said that too. I don't know how long it'll take for him to get back. She said because we're going in between now. We're switching chief of police. Like, things are changing here. So I don't know how long it'll be till then. I'm like, hey. I'm like, I'll call in and check. Oh, I'll make sure I'll call in every day. As long as I know I'm doing everything, you know. It's easy to handle. Just keep calling. Keep emailing and stuff. But the big thing is the internet. Even that lady from, what is it? A housewife, Beverly Hills Housewives. And I like hearing, this is a good thing. Because she's a businesswoman. Of course she's rich. I don't know what she does. But she says that I noticed. I'm glad she said it. Because that's what makes me stay on social media. She's a businesswoman. She said for my business, I noticed for marketing. She said social media is the best platform. She said I noticed like marketing and selling. People really respond to that. She said that's the best way I get my messages out is if I go on social media. And I was thinking, I was like, that's a great place for people like us. Like, let's say nothing can be done. It'll never happen again. The person gets in trouble. But, you know, even if we don't get money back, we can still do this. But they can't tow my car every other day or every week. A part of me hopes they do. I don't think they will. Not with the video. You know, I'm like, well, I'm going to park it there again. I'm going to finish it. Well, then you shouldn't have done it to me. They act like we can do it to you. They block me so many times and I see what happens when you're too nice and kind. The more nicer you are, more respect, even if you ignore it, the more they punch at you harder. That's what I noticed. Because I remember at the bathroom at Walmart, I was too kind and nice. They would always block the bathroom on all my breaks. And they wouldn't let me go to the bathroom. They would keep my lane nonstop busy for 8 hours. So I couldn't use the bathroom when I was out on the floor as a cashier at my register in my lane. So I would wait on my break or wait on my breaks or my lunch. And they would purposely block the bathroom every time in line, say they were cleaning. And so I played along with it for like 2 or 3 weeks. And they didn't let up. They kept doing it even more. So they want something else. They're mad about something else. So then I would just go in there sometimes because my tampon would be leaking. And they would kind of lock the door. I would push it open. I was like, and they're not even cleaning. One was walking back and forth, not cleaning. And then the other guy, Jackie, the one who attacked me and punched me and shoved me, I shoved her back. And I started yelling at her, and then she quickly ran. I was like, yeah, I knew she was going to do it. She quickly ran out. I was like, yeah, run, bitch. I was like, you'll probably win the fight, but I will try and kick your ass. I will shove you right back. And then they had some guy named, a violent guy. He's a wife beater named Rob, the janitor. He was like putting his forearm. And I said, don't. I said, I'm not going to hit you. I said, I won't hit you. And I pushed him back. I go, I'm not going to hit you. I said, I know what you're playing. You're trying to make me go to, you know. You're like, eh. And then another time, Rob, he was sitting on the floor in the last bathroom stall, and he was on his cell phone playing a game. He wasn't even cleaning. And it said that he was clean. There's a sign saying cleaning. He wasn't even cleaning. So they don't even clean. They're just doing it to block me, you know. And I'm like, I'm not, here I am being nice. I'm waiting. And I was waiting. And then they come out like the last 5 minutes of my lunch or break. So I'll be late. And then they start doing it before my shift started. Because before my shift started, I would always go in the bathroom. And so they're doing it now before I start my shift, my 2 50-minute breaks, and my lunch. And it's like the more nicer, even polite. So it's not about that being nice and polite to them, which they didn't deserve. The more nice attitude you have, they're still very mean. They'll get even more meaner. So you have to fight back, and then they back off. But yeah, it's not about, so do not be nice to them. Do not bake them pies. Do not do anything nice for them. I don't. And then they use it as an excuse. Oh, well, she was so rude, this and that. I'm like, no, I wasn't. I think I was very polite. Telling the truth and saying you have poop and blood in your bathrooms. That was the other thing. I saw like poop and blood droplets inside the Target bathroom. And they're probably inside the Chase bathroom too, if there's a public one. So report them to OSHA, CDC, everywhere. The health department too. I think that's here in Fort Wayne. But definitely OSHA. That's what they would do at Walmart. They picked that up from Walmart and Home Depot, especially Walmart. They would always have poop and urine and blood on the toilet seats when I'd go on my break. Also, I wouldn't be able to use them. They're so disgusting. Anyway, so that's what happened there at these places. And where's the police? Why isn't the police there? During these riots and them hitting someone and stuff and blocking them. Why aren't the police there stopping this? And so, yeah, I don't know why that cop came up to me. Do you want the police where I think she saw us recording, so I'll look nice. I was about to shut the door and be like, oh, so now you're asking me and talking to me? But I just wanted to stay silent. I wanted more of the video. I just wanted to stay quiet and not, and I wasn't. She's like, do you want this or not? I was like, I didn't answer. I just wanted good film, good video. I want to embarrass her. I was like, you're not talking to me. You didn't talk to me before and say you weren't gonna do the tow truck, and now you're trying to talk. Now you're talking. You're not gonna get an answer. And she's put it on the ground. I left it there. So anyway, I said, you better pay for it. And then she's walked off. You know, they're trying to get me to say, oh, what happened at Walmart? Like my mom says, don't you dare ask them and don't you dare chase them and follow them. That's exactly what they want. Not that I've ever done that or want to or will. It's the other way around. They chase me. She says, she said, or they'll think that you'll think they're so important. They'll think that you're putting them on a pedestal if you ask them and beg them and then run around them like some damn dog. I was like, I don't do that. No, never. I go, I don't want to know. My mom was like, yeah, don't do it. She kept saying, yeah, don't act like it. She said, these people are cheap and uneducated. She said, you know, I don't want you acting like them. You know, running around begging them. She said, I think that's what they want you to do. Like, say, what do I do? She said, don't you dare do that. I was like, I won't. I was like, hey, I know that and I'm not going to. And, yeah. I'm like, I'm like, it's not in your job description. You have no right. I gave you so many chances. That's what she said. I was like, it's not your chance to give, crazy. crazy fatty. I was like, I didn't listen to you because I don't have to. I know you have no power to tow my car. That's why I let her tow it. I was like, I'm going to post it everywhere. We all know she's not supposed to do it. I'm going to post this. I'm not even done posting it. I'm not even almost finished. I've got so many more posts to make on different websites. I'm going to do it. And, yeah, it's not going to be taken down. But yeah, Ryan, when we get my car, we're going to park it back in the same spot. You know what? Go ahead. Let's see if they tow my car tomorrow. Because I'm like, no. And again, he has his car. He's blocking the driveway. He had his car sticking out when my mom parked the car. Again, he was doing it because he knew my mom wouldn't fight with him, and I wouldn't let her. I just want her to drive and go away. But he's acting daring, like, oh, look, he parks his car halfway in the driveway blocking us where we have to drive on the grass. And then he moves it when the cop came. The way it was parked, when you first see it, that's not where his car was. His car was almost in the middle of the driveway. And then I had to kind of move and drive on the grass. And then I reparked it. I was like, oh, no. And my car, he can get out. But he backs up. And he kind of pushed it forward again. Me and my mom came over from the police station. He was kind of blocking the driveway, like daring us. So I'm like, you know what? Dare is on, you ugly shrimp. Because I'm going to get even with you. I'm going to park. Yeah, I was like, and you know that. I'm going to park there for like 10 or 8 hours tomorrow. You push your car out there and we're going to do the same thing. They're doing the same thing I am. The only difference is a cop didn't call tow truck. You know why? Because there's a setup. They've been planning this for weeks, months, probably 8 months, 9 to 6 months. They've been planning this a while. Definitely the last 2-3 months. They've been planning this. You know, and my point is they handpicked a cop. They have an affiliation with this cop. One of them, a shoplifter. I don't know. She caught a shoplifter for them. I don't think she's a friend. Maybe a relative. Because they don't have any friends. Maybe an acquaintance. But yeah, they planned this. They picked out the cop. You can't pick out the cop who comes here. That's what they did to make it work. Well, you can't do that. And I read those code, it said that Indiana has strict towing laws. You can't do that. On private property, you have to wait 24. And I think on public property, police can only tow it after 21 days. Something you have to wait hours. So if I'm blocking them, which I wasn't, let's say if I decide to block them, which I have the power to do, they can't do anything. They're powerless. All they can do is ask me to move my car. And if I don't, too bad. They're stuck. Which tells you, hey, don't do that to your neighbors. Don't fuck with them. But it doesn't matter anymore because they've done it so many times to me and I ignored it. And I want revenge, so it wouldn't matter to me if they stopped. Because I'm like, well, they did it to me so many times for so many years. That doesn't make up. Even if they stop, that doesn't make up for everything they did to me for a longer period of time. Sometimes shits like them stop for a shorter when they want something. And you're like, no. And I think the reason why they're doing it, because they don't want to handle it. They're wussies and I'm like, no. Because it's affecting them. I'm like, no, you did it to me for so long. That's what I look at. That's what I go for. When I don't fight back, I watch what a person does. I see how they treat me. And some people are nice, so I don't mention their names. They back off and disappear. I'm like, okay, I'll spare you. I won't use your name in my blog. But most of them, they just continue. I'm like, well, and then they stop when they get in. I'm like, I'm still going to do it. You're not doing it for the right reason. And you did it for so long to me that I'm like, no, even if you truly didn't, no, I don't want to. That's not what it's about. I'm like, no. Because it's affecting them. No, I don't care. You're going to go through this. You're going to live through this. You're going to deal with this. Just like I did. You have no other choice. Maybe you should commit suicide. That's the thing. I'm like, they're the weak-willed ninnies. They don't have the ball. I mean, I'm like, well then, don't play stupid power games with people you can't win. Stop playing the power games, because Obviously, you can't win. You haven't won any of them. I have. Strike, check, and mate. Now get out of here. You know I knock you over like a bunch of bowling pins. You ugly, miserable fucking dog hillbilly pigs. Ugh. Okay, so... And check if that cop has an affiliation with Stacey Hensley. Or any of the other managers. Or maybe some from Walmart. I don't know. Felicia, Shanda. Maybe one of the male managers. Cedric, Jeff. Okay, so anyway. Ah! I am Lips of Flame! And I deliver all the nasty, dirty, skeezy, sneaky, underhanded business dealings. Shady shade that businesses shell out for you. Where's my tea and crumpets? No, we're not in Britain here. So, do I have any more left? No. I want to know when! I want to know where! I want to know how! I want to know who! But most of all, I want to know why! Why? Why?